I have built-in storage.
Oh yeah? Well, I give users the option of adding their own storage drives.
Well, I have a built-in CD ripper.
Okay, well, I have a built-in preamp.
I too have a built-in preamp. Say, I wonder what else we have in common.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos on the latest and greatest audiophile gear. And click the cute little bell to be notified whenever we post new content. As music streaming has become more and more popular among audiophiles, the South Korean company Aurender has risen to the challenge. They feel that it's the journey as much as the destination, so to speak, that the experience of streaming music should be as enjoyable as the music itself. They keep on raising the bar with well-designed, great-sounding, user-friendly products for the digital music enthusiast. In this video, we're going to take a look at two of their all-in-one units, their flagship analog output music player, the A30, which sells for $18,000, and the somewhat scaled-down A20, which goes for $14,000. Both have the same basic circuitry topologies, form factor, and sound quality. The difference is in the features and functionality. So here I've got the A30. We don't have an open box A20 available for this video, but I'm going to be covering both units in depth. So the A30 combines a DAC, preamp, headphone amp, plus 3 headphone outputs, music streamer, and CD ripper, plus 10 terabytes of built-in storage. It's perfect for the customer who is seeking a comprehensive digital focal point for their system with top-notch features, including the integrated CD ripping and metadata editing software. The A20 has a DAC, preamp, headphone amp plus 1 headphone output, and music streamer, plus the option to add your own storage, either HDD or SSD, via 2 rear sliding trays. It's perfect for the digital music lover whose library is already digitized. These units are built like tanks with thick aluminum chassis and heat sinks on the side. Available in black or silver, the A20 and the A30 weigh in at a hefty 37.5 pounds. So the units measure 16.9 inches wide by 3.9 inches high by 14 inches deep. The feet underneath will bring the height up to 4.4 inches. So let's take a look at the front panel here on the A30. You've got this lighted square power button. You've got your 3 headphone outputs down here at the bottom, your 4-pin XLR balanced, your 4.4 millimeter balanced, and your 6.5 millimeter unbalanced. Your volume knob here. This awesome 8.8 inch wide LCD color display. You've got your TAC slot-in CD-ROM, your input selection and eject buttons, and your output selection, and then finally your menu and playback buttons at the bottom here. Now on the A20, you're going to have just a single 1/4 inch headphone output, and you're not going to have the CD-ROM and associated eject button. Other than that, the units look identical. So on the rear panel, you've got your dual mono analog outputs, your digital inputs. You've got 2 coaxial, 2 optical, and 2 USB 3.0. You've got your double isolated LAN, your audio USB, and a rhodium-plated AC inlet. And as a reminder, the A20 is going to have the 2 pull-out trays here for your user-added SSD or HDD storage. So you see here on the A30, you have that CD-ROM. So for CD ripping, the A30 will integrate directly with the Acronova NIMBY, which can load and rip up to 100 CDs consecutively. The NIMBY is actually available for rent for Moon Audio's Aurender customers. Now, you can still use the NIMBY for CD ripping on the A20, but you'll have to connect it to your computer and use a program like JRiver or MediaMonkey, and then you can copy your files over to the Aurender. So you will see the A30 and the A20 referred to as caching music servers. What does this even mean? So SSD caching is essentially a way to preserve system resources during music playback. So your music files are stored on spinning hard disk drives, but playback occurs from a solid state drive. This message allows for the HDDs to only be concerned with loading content onto the SSD for playback. So when you add content to your queue via the Aurender Conductor app, that content is immediately cached to the SSD, where error correction and jitter correction, etc. happen. The spinning drives will go to sleep, easing the use of system resources. This will work for music you've ripped and saved to the server, but also music that you stream from streaming services. Now, another neat thing that Aurender does is they provide options when it comes to music storage. With high-resolution streaming becoming the norm for many audiophiles, the need for hard drive storage has lessened. So while some Aurender models come with internal storage, others, like the A20, will allow you to add storage, either traditional hard drive or solid-state drive, to best meet your budget and intended use. So the A30 has an internal 3.5-inch 10 terabyte hard disk drive. The A20 has two pull-out trays for 2.5-inch hard disk drives or solid-state drives. Now, the best audio performance is going to occur when music is stored on Aurender's internal storage. But the Aurender platform is also capable of integrating content stored on a NAS, external USB hard drive, or thumb drive. Essentially, you have limitless storage options. Now, the A30 and A20 each have a 768 kilohertz 32-bit dual mono DAC that was designed around the flagship AKM 4497 DAC chipset. The DAC includes full MQA decoder technology, allowing you to play back MQA audio files and streams. There's also a music streamer. Tidal and Qobuz are among the default options during setup, and you can add other services via the Aurender Conductor app. You get support for all high-resolution formats, upsampling of non-DSD files to 705.6, 768 kilohertz to the analog outputs. You can also choose PCM audio to reach the DAC without alteration and allow the DAC to perform its own upsampling. There are also user-adjustable analog and digital filters. There is a factory default setting that can be selected. I played a little bit with the filtering, but I found myself being comfortable with the default settings. MQA content will require a filter setting that cannot be changed, as it is fixed for the MQA decoding process. You can also choose to put Aurender into critical listening mode, which conserves resources such as circuitry related to the display panel for the best possible sound quality. Let's talk software. I think Aurender has done a phenomenal job with their Conductor app. The Conductor app incorporates the whole experience of browsing for and finding new music, and it ensures easy access and swift browsing of your file-based or your streamed content. You can save recordings that you discover while streaming, and you can easily create playlists. And when you create a playlist, it will look like everything is coming from one integrated library. And then it's easy to add, edit, and remove content from your library. Now, playback on your Aurender will operate on a play queue basis. So when you select a song or a group of songs to play, those files get cached to the internal solid-state drive. To add a song to the queue, you simply tap on its name. It will be added to your queue according to the song selection default behavior, settings that you can access under General in the settings menu in the app. One thing that I couldn't figure out how to do was to play a full album. So to do that, you press and hold on the album thumbnail and then select the desired playback behavior. A cool thing is that the Aurender website has a bunch of helpful video clip tutorials to guide you through the app. In addition, the A30 has a separate app called the A30 Manager, and that is used to configure all system settings, including CD ripping preferences and behaviors. Smart Copy, Move, Delete, Editing, and Duplicate Checker are some of the library management software-based tools that are provided, which will allow you to organize your music library how you want. A really nice perk with Aurender is their remote support technical assistance. If you experience a glitch in your server, if anything goes wrong, if there's something you can't figure out, you can put it into maintenance mode, and then a technician will go in and troubleshoot remotely. This is a premium service that comes standard with any Aurender product. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Roon, since many Moon Audio customers ask us if Aurender services are compatible with the Roon library management software. The answer is no. Aurender is a closed ecosystem, similar to Apple, and will not integrate with outside software. Many people enjoy using Roon for music streaming with its rich metadata and personalized features, and I am absolutely one of them. However, I also enjoy Conductor and find it enjoyable and probably a little bit easier to use. You can check out our comparison of Aurender versus Roon, which we have linked below. But how do the A30 and A20 sound, Sara? This is what people want to know. So here it is. The A20 and A30 are very much linear and neutral sounding. The sound is clear, uncolored, and highly detailed. It's a pleasing and straightforward sound, neither warm nor bassy nor bright. I did my audio testing with the A30, but remember that the A20 has identical sound. So when I first started listening, I was waiting for that immediate wow factor. But admittedly, this is a sound signature that isn't going to grab me immediately. But that's a me thing, because I'm always going to be wooed by warmth. But while the wow didn't come right away, the appreciation built pretty quickly. After several hours of listening to the A30, I almost felt embarrassed by my initial feeling of being underwhelmed. I very much grew to appreciate the honest, unadulterated sound. I would say that bass on the Aurender A30 and A20 is very much defined by, well, its definition. It's not overly assertive or boomy, but it's textured and plenty noticeable. Mids are quite clear, with vocals always sounding super crisp. Highs are peppy and detailed, but not shrill. And that's a really good point that I want to make, because with a more analytical sounding system, you can very quickly move into that shrill or bright territory. Not the case here. Now, a real highlight for me was listening to Tracy Chapman's Fast Car using the Focal Stellia headphones with a Black Dragon premium headphone cable. So you know how sometimes you listen to a song that you've known forever and suddenly you like it so much more than you ever remember liking it? That happened, and so I immediately put the song onto repeat and listened many more times. The music had so much depth to it, and Chapman's voice had so much clarity and realism. As amazing as the guitar strums sounded, it was as if the space between each strum had a character all its own, if that makes sense. This was a big part of my experience with these Aurenders, noticing these types of things. There is a big difference between critical listening and getting lost in the music listening. A warmer, lusher sound might have me closing my eyes and daydreaming, but the Aurenders have the sort of sound that makes you take notice of and appreciate everything. If that's your style, the A30 and the A20 will appeal to you. Now, high-quality audio cables are a must for your Aurender. At Moon Audio, we build custom Dragon cables using the highest quality UPOCC silver or copper conductors that can be manufactured. UPOCC metals are void of impurities and are optimized for signal transfer and sound quality. From power cables to network cables to headphone cables, we have it all. Visit moon-audio.com to learn more. Bottom line, Aurender is a company that gets it right in all areas: sound quality, hardware, software, customer service. Choose the A30 if you are looking for that integrated CD ripping functionality that will enable you to digitize your physical collection. Choose the A20 if your music collection is already digitized. Either way, you'll get a preamp, DAC, headphone amp, and music streamer in one, with connections for both headphone and loudspeaker use. Both Aurenders have a sound signature that is honest, accurate, neutral, and detailed. This makes them great for critical listening and for genres with lots of complexity and nuance. Jazz, classical, acoustic music, and vocal music will especially sound phenomenal. At $18,000 for the A30 and $14,000 for the A20, these are definitely investment pieces, but they are built to last. Pair that with the excellent Aurender Conductor app along with remote technical support, and you've got an audiophile win-win. If you have any questions on anything from this video, leave us a comment. And if you want to learn more about the A20 and A30, check out our written comparison review, which we've linked below. We'll also drop a link to our Aurender guide if you'd like to learn more about the company and the entire product lineup, as well as our Aurender versus Roon guide. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our awesome content. Thanks so much for watching.